Good morning, students. In our second lesson, India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. Today we are going to study about the Mughal power. In 1526, the Sultanate of Delhi came to an end. Mughal power was established there. The first is the Babur. Babur was the founder of Mughal power. He was the king of Pargana in Central Asia in today's Uzbekistan. He had heard of the wealth in India, so he planned an invasion of India. The reigning Sultan of Delhi at that time was Ibrahim Lodi. Daulat Khan Lodi was the governor of Punjab. Under the Sultanate, the relationship between Ibrahim Khan Lodi and the Daulat Khan Lodi was strained. Daulat Khan Lodi invited Babur to march on India. Taking this opportunity, Babur invaded India. To repel Babur's invasion, Ibrahim Lodi started with his army. There was a battle between Ibrahim Lodi and the Babur on 21st April 1526 at Panipat. In this battle, Babur made use of an artillery effectively. For the first time in India, he defeated Ibrahim Lodi's army. This is known as the First Battle of Panipat. After the Battle of Panipat, Rana Sanga of Mewar brought all Rajput kings together. There was a battle between Babur and the Rana Sanga at Kanu. Babur's artillery and reserve force played a key role in this battle and Rana Sanga's army was defeated. Babur died at 1530 CE. Next, after the Babur, Akbar was the most powerful king of the Mughal dynasty. When he tried to bring India under his authority, he had to face opposition of Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi, Rani Durgavati, struggle against him. Their struggle is noteworthy. The first among the Maharana Pratap. After the death of Uday Singh, Maharana Pratap ascended the throne of Mewar. He continued the struggle for Mewar's existence till the very end. The struggle with Akbar to maintain his independence. He has become immortal in history due to his quality of valor and courage, self-respect and sacrifice. The next person was Chand Bibi. The Mughals attacked Ahmednagar, the capital of Nizam Shahi's kingdom, in 1595. The Mughal army put the fort of Ahmednagar under siege. Chand Bibi, the capable daughter of Hussain Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar, bravely defended the fort. At this time, there was an internal strife among the factions of the Sardars in Nizam Shahi's kingdom. This resulted in the murder of Chand Bibi later. The Mughal captured the fort of Ahmednagar, but the Mughals could not bring this entire kingdom of Nizam Shahi under their control. Then next one is Rani Durgavati. Now, Gondwana can broadly be said to comprise the eastern part of Vidarbha, part of Madhya Pradesh to its north, the western part of today's Chhattisgarh, northern part of Andhra Pradesh, and the western part of Odisha. Rani Durgavati, born in the dynasty Chandal Rajput, became the queen of Gondwana. When she was married, she was an excellent administrator. The struggle of Gondwana Queen Durgavati against the Mughal is important in medieval history. After her husband's death, Durgavati laid down her life while fighting against Akbar, but she did not surrender. Akbar was well-versed and vigilant ruler. His religious policy was liberal and tolerant. He gave equal treatment to people from all religions. He founded Din Ilah by recruiting noble principles from all religions, but never compelled anyone to adopt Din Ilah. The next one is Aurangzeb. On the war of succession amongst other sons of Shah Jahan, and became the emperor by dictating his father in 1658 C. Dara Shikoh, the elder son of Shah Jahan, was famous for religious tolerances. He translated more than 50 Upanishads in Persian language. When Aurangzeb became the emperor at that time, the Mughal Empire extended from Kashmir in the north up to Ahmednagar in the south, and from Kabul in the west up to Bengal in the east. To this, Aurangzeb added Assam in the east and the region of Adil Shah of Bijapur in the south and the Qutub Shah of Golconda after the end of this kingdom. Now after that, the conflict with the Ohms. In the 13th century C, the people of the Shan community settled down in the valley of river Brahmaputra. They established their kingdom there. They were likely known as Ohm people. While Aurangzeb ruled the Ohm and propelled struggle with the Mughals. The Mughal attacked the Ohm's region. The Ohm united under the leadership of Gadar Singh. Commander Lachit Borphukan gave an intense battle against the Mughals. The Ohm used the guerrilla technique in the conflict against the Mughals. It became impossible for Mughals to create a strong base in Assam. After that, the conflict with the Sikh. The 9th Guru of Sikh Guru, Tegh Bahadur, protested strongly against Aurangzeb's policy of religious intolerances. Aurangzeb imprisoned him and beheaded him in 1675 C. After him, Guru Gobind Singh became the Guru of the Sikh. Guru Gobind Singh organized his followers and encouraged their meritorious spirits. He organized the Sikh youth into the fighting force called the Khalsa Dal. Their headquarters were at the Anandpur. Aurangzeb sent his army to fight the Sikh. His army attacked Anandpur. Although the Sikh fought fiercely, they did not succeed. After that, Guru Gobind Singh came to the Deccan in 1708. There was an attempt on his life when he was at Nanded. Soon after, the Guru succumbed to his wounds. Then after that, conflict with Rajput. Akbar had secured the cooperation of the Rajput with his policy of amicable relations. Aurangzeb could not obtain the cooperation of Rajputs. After the death of Rana Jaswant Singh of Marwar, Aurangzeb annexed his kingdom to the Mughal Empire. Durgadas Rathod crowned Jaswant Singh Minor's son Ajit Singh as the king of Marwar. Durgadas Rathod fought hard against the Mughals. Aurangzeb sent Prince Akbar to Marwar to crush the resistance of Durgadas. Prince Akbar joined hands with Rajput and rose in the revolt against Aurangzeb. An effort was made to seek help from the Marathas in Maharashtra. In this revolt, Durgadas Rathod continued this struggle against the Mughals for an existence of Marwar. The last one, conflict with the Marathas. In the Maharashtra, Swaraj was established under the leadership of Shivaji Maharaj. In his effort to establish Swaraj, Shivaji Maharaj had to fight the Mughals along with the other enemies. Aurangzeb came down to the Deccan after the death of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj with the intention of conquering the whole of South India. But the Maratha offered stiff resistance to Aurangzeb and repeated their independence. We shall study this struggle later on next lesson.